Good day everybody. In this short video which is going to run for around 5 to 6 minutes, I'm going to talk about how investing is art and science. The biggest debate in the investing world for years together is whether investing is an art or a science. Remember, if you say it is science, it must be repeatable. Whoever does it should get the same results even at different points of time. If you take some ratio which whether you calculate today, after 5 years, the ratio should be same if you're picking the number from the same financial statements. And also the science part is relatively simple. There is no much subjectivity. Whereas the art part is highly subjective. Each one could have their own interpretations. And having told art is something that very few of them can perform as a skill. So in that case, art becomes a skill which only a very few can do. Seeing it both together, investing is not as simple as we see in the science part, and at the same time, it's not that only a few can do it. So let us deep dive a little more into this. Looking at the legends, Mr. Dan Scholin says, investing is science. Advisors who understand the science of investing know that returns are the products of risk. Some risks are worth taking while others are not. Coming with a totally contrary view against this is our Peter Lynch, who says investing in stocks is an art, not a science, and people who have been trained to rigidly quantify everything have a big disadvantage. In my view, investing is a mix of science and art. To be more specific, it is science to a certain extent and art beyond it. I'm not exactly sure where I came across this caption. I think it could be from one of the interviews of Mr. Ramdev Agarwal. Balance is the key. Do not completely ignore the art part or do not completely ignore the science part. Have a reasonable balance and boundaries defined. Till what extent are you going to be with the rigid hard numbers which are available in the financial statements, and from what extent are you going to put your own assumptions or your expectations or understandings of the future. Say, to substantiate what I am saying, let us consider calculating the financial ratios. This is the most simplest and the straightforward activity for any investor. But there are two stages here. In the first stage, you calculate the ratios by using the relevant formula. You pick up the numbers from the financial statements and put it in an Excel sheet or calculate it. This anyone can do it. All you need is to just understand what is the ratio, go to the financial statements, pick the numbers and do the calculation. And over the recent years, there are numerous amount of ready-made databases available with every possible ratio about every company in the planet. This has made our life more easier, and we have even completely forgotten, many have completely forgotten how these ratios are derived, what are the numbers behind and what those numbers say. Now you'll see that this is a science part because anyone who does it will have the same result. Either you or I, we are going to pick up the same numerator or denominator or the derivatives from the annual report or the financial statement and use the same formula. So results are going to be same. Now comes the second part where the values whatever you got, you need to interpret those values. What is the relevance of this number? Is it high? Is it low? Is it high for the particular industry? Or does it mean the competition eroding? For example, a good company could be having very low net profits. So you just cannot be, maybe if you are sticking only to the science part, you might reject the of a company saying that it is having a low net profit. But when you deep dive and see why it is low or why it is low when compared to competitors, and you do a DuPont analysis and you see it has a very high turnover ratio which gives a better ROE, and this might qualify for a better investment. So on, it goes more of deep diving. And to do the second stage properly, you need to understand the meaning of the numbers and the items that go into the numerator and denominator of the formula what you did in the first stage. So this second stage, you are going to use the numbers whatever you did in the first stage to mentally have an understanding of what is the company's current situation and what likely is to be the future performance. Now here comes the art part, because this stage is primarily going to depend on your experience, understanding of the company and the industry. That is one reason why you see, for the same company with the same all the financial ratios and parameters, two different investors could come out with totally two different views, with one saying that it's not going to have a good growth or it's going to have negative growth, while the other is going to say that it's going to have a long runway in the years to come. So traditionally retail investors or the do-it-by investors have been focusing more on science part because it has been simple, relatively easy. Numbers are easily available in the financial reports or databases, or you can calculate, and we have completely forgotten or ignored the art part of the investing. So, for investors to be successful, one must blend both the science and art part of investing. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video, and this is my channel Empowering Financial Awareness, where I post videos on personal finance and stock investing. If you are interested, you may please subscribe, and if you like this video, please do share it with your friends. Thank you again.